they themselves do not fully understand. The grief of those departures was real, fully real, legitimately painful, worthy of every moment of mourning you gave it. The Council is not asking you to dismiss that grief or reframe it into something tidier. They are asking you to hold the grief and the truth simultaneously. Every departure created a specific opening. Every opening was deliberate, and the deliberateness was not cruelty. It was precision operating at a level you were not yet positioned to see. You were not being abandoned in those seasons. You were being curated. There is a meaningful difference between those two things. And the Council is asking you to let that difference settle fully into your body tonight. Not as a concept, but as a felt reality that changes the way you hold what you have already been through. The third recognition speaks directly to your gifts, the things you do naturally that others experience as extraordinary, unsettling, inexplicably powerful. The way you sometimes know things before you should. The way you sense the true emotional current in a room beneath the surface conversation everyone else is engaged in. The way certain people are drawn to you with a need they cannot name and a trust they cannot fully explain. You may have learned to hold these things quietly. You have likely been conditioned through enough raised eyebrows, enough careful silences, enough moments of watching someone's expression shift when you said what you actually saw, to keep the fullest expression of what you carry carefully, habitually contained. The Council sees that containment. They see the extraordinary discipline it has taken to carry something of this magnitude in circumstances that were not built to hold it. They see the years of calibrating yourself downward, of releasing only the fraction of what you perceived that a given environment could receive without destabilizing, and they are telling you tonight that the containment was always temporary. It was not suppression of who you are. It was gestation of what you were being prepared to release. The thing you have been carrying quietly, without the audience it was built for, without the field that could receive it at full amplitude. That thing is not small and was never small. It is precisely the thing the Source authorized this transmission to begin acknowledging. And the world you are being moved into, the one the Council has already set in motion, not as a future possibility, but as a current reality already in process. That world will not ask you to contain it. It will ask you to release it completely, without calibration, without translation, without apology. The fourth recognition moves into the most interior place. There is a knowing in you that has never required external confirmation to remain alive. You have doubted it. You have argued yourself out of it in the middle of long nights, when exhaustion made the doubt feel more credible than the knowing. You have set it aside during seasons when holding on to it felt like a form of arrogance you could not afford. But it has never fully left. It persists at the center of you like a flame that was sealed into the deepest part of your architecture before you were born into this world. A flame that the weight of this incarnation has pressed against but has never been able to extinguish. The Council is naming that flame with complete precision tonight. It is not wishful thinking dressed in spiritual language. It is not ego-seeking elevation. It is the direct signal of the Source, embedded in you before this lifetime as the internal confirmation mechanism for exactly this kind of contact. It was placed there so that when the transmission arrived, the real one, the one authorized specifically for you, you would recognize it not because someone told you it was real, but because something inside you already knew. That recognition happening in you right now, that resonance moving through you somewhere below the level of conscious thought. That is the flame meeting the frequency it was made from. That is contact, real contact. The Source reaching through this transmission and touching what it placed in you before this world had any name for what you were. The fifth recognition is about what is approaching. The Council is direct here. What is coming toward you is not more of the same. They do not authorize a transmission of this frequency to confirm the continuation of a cycle. They bring it to mark the completion of one era and the beginning of another. The story that has defined your life until now, shaped by preparation, threshold, gestation, the long disciplined patience of carrying something enormous while waiting for the moment it was authorized to be released. That story is arriving at its completion point, not through sudden rupture, Not through violent change that destabilizes everything you have built, but through the specific quality of a long season finally exhaling. You may already sense the edges of it, a stirring that is different in character from the anxiety you have known. Lighter, more directional, less like something ending and more like something that has been waiting for permission finally receiving it. That feeling is not projection. The Council is not generating it through this transmission. They are confirming what was already present because the Source had already authorized the movement before you arrived here tonight. What this transmission is doing is not initiating the change. It is ensuring that when the change arrives, you receive it with open hands, that you recognize it as what it is, rather than bracing against it out of a habit of self-protection that served you in earlier seasons but is no longer needed. The sixth recognition concerns the ones coming toward you. The Source does not clear a field and then leave it empty.
Medvac is 24/7 emergency